Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our handsome and amazing lecturer Sir Muhammad Azri. Today we will present about determining the influence of age in number of unemployment. There are 5 members in our group. First, Alis Akilah binti Ashari. Second, Nik Nur Afzan binti Suhaimi. Third, Hanis Naili binti Muhammad Adenin. Fourth, Nur Fakihah Iman binti Muhammad Faizal. And lastly, myself, Muhammad Azizaim bin Mahasan.
My name is Hanis Naili binti Muhammad Adenin, and I will explain on the introduction of our project. Unemployment is a detrimental to society from a variety of perspectives. It is a stress syndrome with serious consequences for society and country development. According to Durjadin and Goffin-Naggett, unemployment can lower one's self-esteem through affecting one's performance in terms of social, physical, and economic factors. The unemployed are those who are out of work yet actively working for work, whereas the unemployment rate is the proportion of the labor force that are out of work. It is a poor indicator, which means that it increases or decreases in response to change in economic indices. This also implies that it rises and falls in response to changing economic conditions rather than forecasting them. When the economy is in bad shape and jobs are scarce, unemployment rises. Next, we will proceed with the problem statement for our project. From the early 1980s until 2010, Malaysia's unemployment rate fluctuates, with the number of jobless persons being mostly determined by age, gender, skills, and economic variable. Malaysia announced an objective of becoming a high-income nation via inclusion and sustainability by 2020, as a result of recent economic success in 2010. Since age and gender are regarded the most important element in unemployment, it is critical to have the most recent data regarding this in order to establish a stable economy and lower the unemployment rate, which may impact other inhabitants of the nation. Next is our research objective. We have 3 research objectives, which is to examine the significant difference in mean of unemployment rate between the age group, to determine which gender has the highest unemployment rate, and to investigate whether there is a significant difference in mean of unemployment rate with the factor of unemployment.
Research question: does the mean of unemployment rate differ among the age? Which gender have the highest unemployment rate? Does the mean of unemployment rate differ among the other factors? Methodology. First, reference population. We use all Malaysian citizens. Target sample. Number of unemployment based on age and gender in 2016 until 2019. For research design, we use correlation research and experimental research. Inclusion criteria. The study only focuses on number of unemployment in 2016 until 2019 in Malaysia, which is based on several categories, which are age and gender. While exclusion criteria, sample of this study is only taken from dozen website, and reasons why the number of unemployment increasing from year to year. And for instrument tools, we only use online portals and internet-enabled devices.
Our result report is to find the number of unemployment. For dependent variable is number of unemployment and independent variable is gender. Our objective is to examine the significant difference between gender and number of unemployment. We change the data's name from number of unemployment to dataset. First, we start the comment with LM, open bracket, number of unemployment, tilde of gender, comma, dataset, end of bracket. We run the command and the output is coefficients of intercept, gender male. Therefore, the regression equation is y equal to 313.35 minus 29.36x. Here our BI is negative 29.36. So for the interpret is when X gender decreased by 1 unit, Y number of unemployment will decrease by negative 29.36 unit. Next, we write the comment of regression model equal to LM open a bracket number of unemployment tilde of gender, comma dataset end of bracket. We run the regression model and the output is similar as above, which is the intercept is 313.35 and the gender male is negative 29.36. Next, we want to find the summary of regression model. Before that, we use the options of skypen equal to 999. This command is to get the real value of p-value. And then we put the summary, open of bracket, rig model, end of bracket, command. We run the command and the output will shows like the picture above, where they have estimate standard deviation, error, t-value and p-value. We can interpret that the gender has a p-value 0.431, which is more than 0.05. Therefore, gender is not significant variables that influence number of unemployment. For multiple R square is 0.01005 means that 1.005% of variation Y number of unemployment is explained by X, which is its gender. Last but not least, F statistic from ANOVA shows that p-value 0.4306 is more than 0.05. Therefore, the regression model is not significant. We proceed to comment ANOVA, open bracket, rig model, end of bracket. The output shows the ANOVA table, so we can interpret the value of ANOVA. First, H null, mu1 equal to mu2, H1 at least one of the mu is not equal. Second, the p-values is 0.431, which is more than alpha 0.05. There is not enough evidence, so the conclusion is accept H1. We can conclude that there is significant difference in number of unemployment and gender. Besides, we also find the coefficient of regression model. We write the comment COEF open of bracket rig model end of bracket, and we get the regression equation is y equal to 313.3500 minus 29.3625x. For a confidence interval for regression, we can define that by 95% confident. When the x increase by 1 unit, y will increase between negative 103.3500 to 44.62504. Next, we also find the confidence interval, but we put the confidence level is 0.99. We can conclude that by 99% confident, when x increase by 1 unit, y will increase between negative 127.7232 to 68.99823. Last, we go to plot. We find the regression plot and regression outline. The output will out the plot as the pictures. Next, we try to find the plot using the ggplot. So the command is A equal to ggplot, open of bracket rig model, comma aesthetic, open of bracket x to gender, and y to number of unemployment, end of bracket. We run A and the output will shows as the pictures. We also can add A plus geom underscore point open and end of bracket plus start underscore smooth open of bracket method equal lm comma then call is the color of red end of bracket. Another plot is par open of bracket m fro equal c is 2 2. We run the regression plot and the output we shows 4 of different plots. we can conclude for normal QQ that the residual distribution is normally distributed. All point lies along the straight line. And for the residuals versus fitted, the points are randomly scattered and have no pattern. Therefore, homoscedasticity achieved. We also find the box plot, open rig model, $sign to residual and of bracket. The output shows as the picture. Next, we can proceed to find the QQ norm, open of bracket, rig model, $sign to residual and of bracket. The output shows the normal QQ plot. We also find the QQ line, open of bracket, rig model, $sign to residuals and of bracket. And lastly, comment of Shapiro.test, open of bracket, rig model, $signs, residuals, and of bracket. And the output is W equal to 0.94446 and the p-value is 0.006162. For the linearity and equality of variance, we can use comment plot, open of bracket, rig model, $sign fitted, dot values, comma, residual, $signs residual, and of bracket, or also can use plot, open of bracket, rig model, and of bracket.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fakihah Iman binti Muhammad Faizal, and now I will present multiple linear regression models. Firstly, we have to put command LM, number of employment, gender plus age, and dataset. LM is stand for linear model. Therefore, the regression equation is y equal to 183.35 plus 69.55x2 plus 333.81 x2 plus 160.64 for x3. Then B1 x1 is 69.55. For B2 x2 is 333.81. For B3 x3 is 16.64. Then we can interpret like when x age increase by 1 minute, y number of graduates, it will increase by 69.55, 333.81 and 116.64 units. After that, for regression model, here is the command LM, number of employment, gender plus age, dataset, regression model. So the regression model will appear like this. As you can see, there will be the coefficient for the number of employment, gender plus age. Okay, for the step 12, the summary regression model. So it will appear like the output in the slide. So if you don't want the p-value like in the exponential value, so you can put the options SkyPen equal to 999, so it will appear like this, like p-value in the output. Okay, for the step 13, if you want to find the ANOVA for the data, you can put ANOVA regression model in the command, so it will appear like the output. And the interpret is H null, M is for mean 1 equal mean 2 equal mean 3 equal mean 4. H1, at least one of the mean is not equal. P-values is 0.1395. So it is more than 0.05. There is not enough evidence to accept H null. The conclusion is accept H null. There is no significant difference between age and gender in number of unemployment. After that, for the coefficient, if you want to find the coefficient, you can put the coefficient regression model, so it will appear like the output. The regression equation is y equal to 183.35 minus 29.3625 x1 plus 69.55 x2 plus 333.8062 x3 plus 116.6437 x4. For the confidence interval, you can put the command like confin regression model, and the interpret is by 95% confidence interval. When x increase by 1 unit, y will increase between minus 68.58351 to 9.858511. By 95% confidence of h more than 45, when x increase by 1 unit, y will increase between 14.08311 to 125.016885. By 95% confidence of age 25 to 34, when x increase by 1 unit, y will increase between 278.34 to 389.27. Lastly, by 95% confidence of age 35 to 44, when x increase by 1 unit, y will increase between 61.18 to 172.11. Okay, for the step 14, lastly, if you want to find plot for the regression model from the data, so you can put the command plot regression model, so it will appear, so the plot will appear like in the slide.
Lastly, for the conclusion, from the data in the previous result, the influence of age in number of unemployment can be concluded that there are no significant differences between number of unemployment and gender. It is because in the ANOVA table, we can see that p-value is much more bigger than alpha value, so there is not enough evidence and we accept the H null. Therefore, when x increases by 1 unit, y also increase. The residual distribution is normally distributed where all the point lies along the straight line. For the residuals versus fitted plot, the points are randomly scattered and have no pattern. Therefore, homoscedasticity achieved. Besides, there is significant difference between age and gender in number of unemployment. It is because in the ANOVA table, we can see that p-value is much more smaller than alpha value. So there is enough evidence that we can accept the H1. Thus, the number of unemployment is positively associated with gender and age. For the recommendation, in the future researcher, the researcher needs to consider the sample study as the sample are a cross-sectional survey. This will lead us to law of maximizing the diversity of the respondents. Besides, there are little details only about the influence of number unemployment, as this study is limited to number of unemployment, age and gender only. So that all from us about the topic. Thank you. Next, for the analysis of benefits, there are 3 benefits. First, a wide variety of libraries to support and enhance the programming environment. The language also has the most comprehensive, and the libraries have a variety of users that let programmers carry out various activities. Second, open source environment. R is an open source language, so the software developers can use the R programming language without any restrictions. And lastly, the benefits is excellent statistical calculation and the data analysis. The R programming language is the most popular programming language. So the statistician can develop and performs exceptionally well in statistical calculation.